favorite content creators, because this podcast is called A Work in Progress, a treasure for Namibian content creators. I feel like it's necessary for us to have the conversations that can, ginger the industry. They can bring new creators, can inspire the old creators. And today, I have somebody very special. Because I watch his TikTok's name, and then it looks like he's like making love to the camera. Like the first few words is like, "Hi, you be my wife." I am officially poetic.
I'm so grateful to
what it do, what it does.
No, I'm happy.
How are you?
I'm doing absolutely amazing. It's a beautiful day today.
Before we start, like, what made you think of, let me like speak to these girls? Because I feel like it's for us. I feel like we are catered for.
Someone once said I'm the internet boyfriend.
Yes.
Someone once said that in
you're
my
our
DM.
men's.
Yeah, she's like, no,
men's.
you're my boyfriend. You're the internet's boyfriend.
Yes.
And then I was like, okay, cool. Let me start doing poetry that is like as if I'm talking to someone and that someone is there with me.
Because it feels bro, it
So,
feels like you're about to marry me.
So that was the plan. I decided, let me actually talk to the camera, but instead of seeing it as a camera, let me see it as a beautiful woman that was wearing green and brown.
We love to hear it, we love to see it. For people that are wondering what I'm talking about, what's your TikTok name?
My TikTok as well as my Instagram is just officially poetic, officially _poetic.
Officially _
Yeah.
Go and check out this TikToks. You would know what I'm talking about, because this is the ultimate. How did the idea of TikTok come about? Like for you to actually start creating content on TikTok?
I feel like for the longest I've been creating content on Instagram.
Yeah.
As well as sometimes I used to dabble on YouTube as well. TikTok was a thing of like, I'm not sure if I want to go there or not. But then I've always created poetry in terms of like, I always wanted to, there's not a lot of live shows and stuff like that. So I was like, oh no, let me go on TikTok. And a lot of people were like, no, go on TikTok. There's a lot of audience there. Internationally, you can touch a lot of people. So I was like, okay, let me go on TikTok. And also TikTok allows me to just have like small snippets. Because on Instagram, I usually like do a whole production.
Yeah.
So on TikTok, it's just a small snippet of me just saying, good morning. And stuff like that,
Yeah, because like when you start with a poem, because I love poems. I'm a when you start with a poem, it's like, that's it. That's it. So it's intentional for you to make it hand off a cliff. Is it cliffhanger?
Yeah, like a cliffhanger. Like I want you to desire me more. It's a form of seduction in a way.
It's working.
Yeah.
It's working. If you know, you know.
Yeah,
if you know, you know. Let's start. Yeah. You're a presenter. How did you? Did poetry come first before presenting?
Poetry came first. Poetry is something that I started writing like when in high school and stuff. But that time I was writing like very depressive stuff, like Dear Diary type of situation. But I was just writing like my emotions and like.
So you said what in high school? You said that era. What is it? when everybody's just depressed.
Yeah.
And everybody.
Yeah. So I was part of that era, So I used to write a lot because I didn't really fit in, or I felt like I didn't fit in, so I used to write a lot, but I didn't think I was writing poetry. I say this a lot, and then until I discovered a certain poet that goes by the name of Miles Carter. He does the same poetry that I do, and then I started doing poetry, and then I went into varsity at NAST, and then my first year, like second semester, NAST FM had auditions, like, oh no.
Yeah, you were on NAST FM, yes.
NAST FM had auditions, like, oh no.
Are you still on?
Yeah, I'm still on NAST FM. I'm a programming manager there, as well as I also do a show still. So they had auditions. I was literally first not gonna go, and then one girl, she's like, oh my god, I would listen to your voice on radio every day if you were on radio. So okay, let me give it a shot. And then I got that, and I've been doing NAST FM for a while, and then my poetry also started growing a little bit. I started doing live shows, and then I got a phone call one day. Shout out to Franklin, because he's the one that set it up in terms of like the interview with Waterone, because they're looking for male presenters.
Franklin the rapper.
Yeah, Franklin the rapper is also a poet, presenter, radio presenter as well. So they kind of hooked it up, and then I just went for the auditions. Pretty nervous because I've never done TV before, and then it seems like I have a neck for it. So like
How do you build confidence? Because your content is like, you have the audacity. Like you have the audacity to do whatever you want. Whoever is watching from the other from the back of the screen, is gonna have to accept it for what it is. Like how does one build confidence in that aspect? Also like for radio, because there's a lot of people that want to be radio presenters, but like your voice is shaking.
Yeah. I feel like with the confidence thing, it kind of happened with the type of poetry that I'm doing. Because when I started doing poetry, I think everything for me revolves around that poetry situation. When I started doing poetry, it was a thing of like, no, everyone was doing either love, depression, and stuff like that. Then I decided, no, let me do something different. So I decided to do sensual poetry. But I can't do sensual poetry if I'm not confident. If I'm not, I'm not a man about it. You have to like really exude that confidence and stuff like that. So I started researching artists actually, the likes of like Chris Brown, Michael Jackson, Prince, Trey Songz, because they have something that I want. When they go on stage, females, like women in general, even men, they are shaking. So I want to be that, but poetry. So I needed to grow that confidence. So when I sit down and I get into my element and I just look at you, I want you to feel my confidence. I need you to shiver. Yeah.
So for somebody that like wants to get like, do they know they write? Because I know there's a lot of poets that write, but they cannot take it from the book to visual. Like, what can they do?
This is a tough one because I usually have a lot of people that like would say, "Oh no, I want you to mentor me and stuff." And as much as good as you would write, if you can't perform, especially for people that want to do spoken word, because there's the people that where you can just write your poetry in a book and it's not really a problem, you publish that. But if you want to do something more of like you're going to spoken word and stuff, you really need to be able to project. So I always tell people you have to leave your poem. You don't have to think about anyone else in the room. You have to leave your poem. You have to read it the way you want someone to feel it. So if you're doing a sad piece, you have to say it with a sad intention. As if you're at the funeral, you can't be happy at a funeral. So you have to be sad there. So if you are happy, be happy. If you are sensual, be sensual.
So poets are really like actors and actresses.
Yeah, because
you need to tap into a character of some sort for you to be able to put the message across.
Yeah, you have to project. Because I say I'm two different people. I'm Tutu, because Tutu is very introverted. Like I don't do much. And then there's officially poetic. He's not shy. He's my alter ego. He's the one that comes out when I need him to come out, when I'm out and about.
So we need officially poetic.
I know now you have officially
poetic. Okay. So we have officially poetic.
Yeah.
So official poetic is the one that's giving us the advice right now.
Yeah.
Let's get into what I won. You said Franklin called you, I think?
Now Franklin, I got a phone call from like one of the producers there, and then he was like, "Oh no, we got your number from Franklin, and we have auditions on Saturday. Come try it out." Because I was a little bit shocked because I've never done anything like that because I didn't know why. But then,
because every time I go to NBC studios, like, were you nervous at all?
I was nervous because also the people that were there are some of the people that I was like going up against are people that have been in the industry already, people that I have seen. And I was like, yo, when I went there, the little part of me wanted to be like, yo, reverse, Yango, go home, call it a day. But then it was a thing of, I have this thing of like, you never know until you try.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me not think as it as these cameras. Let me just think of it as a radio show that I'm doing. But this time around, I have to smile and stuff like that. So I went up there, I did my thing. I waited and they were like, "Oh no, we want you." I was like, "Yeah, I know you want me."
So you knew.
Yeah. Sometimes I get a little bit cocky.
That's the thing of like knowing who you are. It's very, for you to be a content creator or any type of like popular person, you need to know who you are, because people are gonna break you down, or people, just like an audition. Like it's gonna rack you, and then by the time you even get to the audition, it's already
exactly.
So you need to, guys, work on who you are. Be that. You need to have two characters, as some people would say. And then social media.
Yeah.
What do you think social media has done for your career?
I feel like social media has kind of grown me. I don't feel like anyone would have known who I am without social media.
So you started on Instagram.
I started on Instagram with I remember Vernon, it's a very close friend of mine, the first video that I ever did. Like, because I do, so I do.
That's why you'll be at the events.
Some of the events I do have a hand in them in terms of like I help out here and there and stuff like that. But my first video, I did a video where I was feeling a little bit depressed and low, and then I shot that video and then I put it on social media.
Yo.
Yeah, I shot the video of just like, you know, me,
Like actual real emotions,
like
or
real
like
emotions and stuff.
like
It's
in
not
that
my
moment you were.
yeah. I think that was like one of my first videos ever that I've shot. Yeah. So in my emotions and stuff, I've tried to put it on TikTok, but because it's so depressing, TikTok always cancels it. Like I'll post it and then the 2 seconds later, TikTok is like, nah, it's blocked. I can't put it on TikTok.
What was it? What was it?
Now I was going through something there, and
In real life.
yeah, in real life, and I remember I was with one my older brother at that time, and we were in the room, and then I think we were having a discussion with my dad or something, and I was going through something very emotional, and then I told my brother, could you hold the camera? And this was so weird because my brother.
Wait, you filmed this thing with your brother in the room?
Yeah, in my room. So my brother is holding the camera, and I'm sitting down there, and I'm going through all these emotions, tears are rolling down my eyes and stuff like that, and then I'm just like, yo. And then the moment he gave me the phone back, I edited the video in terms, and then I put a sound, because with my way of doing things, like I would shoot the video, and then I would look at the video, and then the emotions that I get, and then when I was looking at that video, I remembered everything I was going
So
through
it's
at that
kind of
moment.
therapeutic for you.
Yeah.
You treat it as like a form of therapy.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
And then I wrote it down, and I shot it, and then I posted that on Instagram for the first time, and then I was like, okay, cool, I like this. And then I discovered Miles Carter.
But you liked the reception or what?
I didn't like I loved the fact that people could relate.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's why I think I love shooting those videos, the way I shoot them. There's a lot of poets, and a lot of them now are doing what I'm doing in terms of like creating visuals for their poetry. And the reason why I started doing visuals for my poetry is that sometimes, as much as I write things down, as much as I say, you won't understand it. So let me show you what I'm feeling. So that's how I started. I did a video with Vernon, with one of our other friends. It was a love poem. The reception was beautiful. Then I did another one then I started using different people, influences. Recently, I even used Lindiwe in my most recent piece.
Yeah, I saw, I remember, I just forgot the girl's name, but I saw that you once
Lindiwe, the piece is also titled Lindiwe, the greatest piece of art that Evan has ever created.
So like, your dating is, so you lay your emotions down on the table.
Dating is very, you have to be strong, because I'm the internet's boyfriend.
Like
you know? But yeah, you have to. Dating is I love to keep my love life a little bit private, because at the same time, sometimes I really thought these things happen like in America, where you have people actually like DM you and say I love you and stuff like that. And then it started happening.
Girls are out there.
Yeah, my comment section it's not safe. Yeah, my comment section is not safe.
And your DMs are probably.
Yeah, my DMs are also not safe, so you have to be strong to date me.
In terms of like partnerships and things, looking at the industry and where it's at, like, what type of brands do you think you want to like collaborate with? The type of content that you.
I've actually started like last year. I did another video. I did it with Kande as well as Paramount Stitch.
Yeah.
I included like Paramount's clothes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the type of brands the beauty about poetry is like you look at it as the same way you look at a music video. How someone can get a sponsored deal and just have a bottle there. But the beauty about poetry is I can focus more on your bottle. I can have words that relate to your bottle or relate to your product. But there are certain brands that I really, really want to work with. That I even want to work with like a lodge. Like let's say
Gondwana.
Yeah, Gondwana. Like I would like love.
So you'll
to
be describing the lodge.
No, it's like it's a series, like a 5-episode series where we go to different lodges like in Gondwana, and I'll shoot like love pieces in all those different lodges. But as I'm shooting those love pieces, I also get to kind of like highlight the beauty of Gondwana, highlight what they are giving, how the room looks and stuff like that. So it's advertisement without putting it right in their face, but you're putting it right in their face. Yeah, that's what I want to do. I think that's the biggest one that I want to do. I'm trying to find connection. Maybe this is my connection.
Like, I don't know, like guys, whoever, if you study communications or public relations, or if you are in the spaces or in the offices of these things, like I don't know if the marketing officers don't get it, that influencing is actually a part of the marketing budget. Like, that's a good idea for a market. Like, it's not in your face, but somebody would want to go there because they heard what you have to say about it, and it's an experience.
Because the beauty about it with the videos, that those ones that I actually want to do, I want them. You can be able to play them at a lodge at Gondwana. You know, it's not just a video that you shoot there and then it's done. It can be a form of advertisement. It can be a form of like, after the video is done, you say, there's a special for 5 months after that one video is shot. So that's what I want to do with my poetry. I still want to make people be able to relate to my work,
Yeah.
but I also want to be able to advertise people's products and stuff. So the recent or the next pieces that I'm going to be shooting, I'm going to be placing certain brands. I'm not going to approach them first.
Yeah.
I'm just going to shoot,
Product
and I'm going to
placement.
show them what I can do,
Yeah.
and then hopefully they will understand.
Yeah. Would you be up to like writing your own like proposals?
No, I
Since you're a
have.
good writer.
No, I do. I have written some proposals already. There's certain proposals and certain things that are in the works that I'm hopeful that they will come on top. But yeah, I do write my own proposals, and also the beauty about being friends with people like Vernon is they help you.
Oh yeah, Ben also write proposals.
Yeah, they help
Guys,
you.
let's
here
send
and
our, let's send our proposals to Ben, and then they be getting the gigs, so they can edit and see like, oh, what are we not putting in there
Yeah.
that needs to be in there. Another question: how does one get to engage their followers? Like, you know, sometimes you'll be asking people questions with those question stickers and there's just no reply. There's just no replies. Like, and it seems like in the comments you have people like that are commenting. You have the likes. Like you actually have the engagement.
Yeah.
Like, how does it?
I feel like you have to understand your followers first. The thing about being an influencer, or just being anyone that markets anything, is that you have certain people that follow you, and you need to understand what they want from you. So for my thing is like, I have a lot of people that comment and stuff there, but I don't comment a lot because I build up this thing of like mystery. So instead of like responding to you, because if I respond to you, because I'm the internet's boyfriend, and I have all these girlfriends, if I respond to you, my other girlfriend will be jealous.
Yeah, I just feel like you should be giving us attention.
Exactly. But the fact that I don't give you attention, you come back looking for more attention.
So it's
understanding your followers. Most of my followers, I understand they are women.
yeah.
So that's why my content is based on women. It's based
Yeah.
on making sure that I do sensual in terms of like, let's get under the covers, or I do, how was your day? I'm concerned about you. Or I do, why did you disrespect me? Don't you know I can punish you? See, so I know all these different things is based off because I know my followers. So you need to know your followers.
So you've been tricking us.
No, I know you. I see you.
You've been tricking us, but you don't be giving us attention.
No, I see you. That's
for a reason.
Yeah, it's very important. That's how you communicate with your followers on Instagram, on social media. You have to understand what it is that they want from you. So if my followers were the type to be like, oh, 24/7, like talk, I would probably be talking.
Yeah.
But the fact that my followers are the type of like, oh, this man, and I don't respond, and then when I come back, I respond through a poem, and then that's me interacting with them. You see?
Okay, that's like intentional then.
Yeah.
But also it works out for you because then you don't need to be overwhelmed with replying.
Yeah, with
to
responding
things
and replying.
Yeah. So like if you set it up that way, it's that way anyways. So
yeah.
What do you think of the poetry space in Namibia? Like, what can you say about it? Must we do more events? Must we support more poets?
I mean, I love the fact that there's Frankly Speaking is a poetry group started by Franklin and Dem Etu, and then it had the likes of I used to also perform like a lot on it, but I kind of took a break from performing live. I want to do more of the
Yeah, you don't anymore, hey?
Yeah.
Because I was at the poetry night, I think like last month or last summer, and you just attend.
Yeah.
Like, if you are there and we are not seeing you on stage, what?
No. The thing that I realized is that sometimes you need to understand. You know how when I first started doing poetry, I used to do it online. Then I started doing it live. Yeah. When I did it live, the first few shows, people will come to see me because they're like, oh, this guy, I saw him on. But then in every show, if I'm there, I lose that spark that I have.
You don't want to overexpose.
Exactly. So now I'm also doing a thing of like rebranding a little bit with my poetry. So I'm taking it back to social media, creating all this content, making you want me, and then I'll be back.
Okay.
See, that's the thing.
So like, from now on, like when you are done with the rebranding, how is the live? Are you gonna be adding things on stage, or it's still gonna be sensual and?
There's because the thing was also I want to have like a one-man show, like I already have the name of the show that I want. Like I want to have a one-man show.
Yeah, then.
Yeah. You know, I'll hit up Venom for that one. I want to have a one-man show, and this show I want it to be like, you know how I want there to be an R&B artist. I want it to be a very very close, intimate thing. Wine and all that. So that's what I want to do in the near future. But going back to like in terms of the poetry scene, there's a lot of there's frankly speaking, which I feel like is on top in terms of like the poets and stuff.
Yeah.
And then we have of course the vinyl poetry night that they have also.
Shout out to vinyls. I feel like vinyls is really creating a culture because they have comedy, they have poets, they have the quiz. They shout out to whoever.
I think that the establishment itself is just beautiful to have that type of events happening there. So there are a lot of poetry events, but I do feel like they could tweak a little bit to get a little bit better.
What about corporate? Do you get like corporate gigs to, you know?
Yeah, the first I got a corporate gig once, and I was so shocked. It was
once? You only ever performed?
No, not once. But this is the most memorable one. This is the one that made me feel like, oh my god, I'm actually doing something.
Yeah.
I got a phone call once, and then it was from the B3, from the office of the first lady, and they were like, no, it was for the campus, the B3 campus.
Yeah.
And they were like,
the opening.
Yeah, the opening, and they were like, no, hey, send us a code. We'd love you to do a poem. I was like, wait, what? Like.
They should have said,
yeah, we want you to do a poem.
Write a poem for us.
Yeah, write a poem for us. We'll pay you and stuff like that. And I was so shocked because I was like, I see when I get people calling me without having me to reach out. That's how I build that's how I see if I've grown or not.
Yeah.
So that was like one of the first corporate deals that I got that I was really happy and really excited for. So the corporate space is somewhere that I want to go. And I think with the rebranding, I stopped doing a lot of the essential pieces because I want to go corporate. And if the corporate start looking at my page, I cannot just have central pieces. So that's why I started doing like the love pieces or pieces that have to do with everything and anything in terms of like brand placement. Because with poetry and working, you can work with anyone. You can work with anyone in terms of corporate, local, anything. So that's why I stopped doing a little bit of the central and making it more for personal, me and you conversation on TikTok. And then like now the proper projects, I post them on Instagram.
Corporate. So what would you say, like, you would say corporate entities do support, like, that type? Because poems are very, like, they are a niche. Like, they need to be treated as a niche. Like, a corporate wouldn't, for entertainment, for if they're having a conferencing or they have to be careful of, like, whether they're going to bother people with a poem or they need to bring a band or, you know, like, do you think corporates are supporting the industry?
With the poetry industry is one of the most less or like the least supported industry, and I understand why, because we live in a country that we are very fast paced in terms of amapiano, the music, the entertainment, the vibes and stuff like that. So poetry is something that you have to slowly introduce to people. And it's not really represented the way that you would want it to represent it. But in terms of like corporates, there are certain corporates that are like, oh no, come do a piece here, come do a poem here, and then they'll be like, no, we want a certain poem like this and that. I just feel like the thing is, most of the poets, they have to get into that thing of how you can transform poetry, because poetry has been transformed ever since the start of Shakespeare, with how he used to do poetry to how I do poetry now. So it's just a thing of like making it entertaining for the other people. That's why you need to know your audience and you need to know how to deliver.
Okay. What do you do or what can people do to get into the emails of like, to get invites to like a corporate gig or like conferencing and things?
First of all, I don't know, to be honest. To be honest, if I'm being honest, be honest, I'm not this thing where I'm not
to get like an email from a B3.
I think to get in, I feel like you need to be consistent in terms of your content. You need to be consistent, and you also need to show that you can be diverse. In terms of like, as much as I'm known for writing the type of poetry, I also know how to write about everything else. So you need to be diverse, and you also need to put yourself out there. In terms of like, there's a lot of poets in Namibia, but not a lot of them are known. And the reason why is because they are doing everything that everyone else is doing. So you need to also be able to look inside the box and outside of the box. So you need to be able to like, if you are in a group of poets, someone can be able to say that one, set you apart from the rest. So you need to be different, you need to be diverse, and you need to be courageous enough to take the chances that others won't.
That's a word.
Yeah.
And just like that, that was officially poetic. I really want to use, because I like your Mambo name.
My Mambo name.
Apparently it's too long and it's what. So let's just call him Tutu on the streets if you don't want to call him officially poetic.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you learned something. If you are an upcoming poet, I hope you learned something to build, how to build a brand, how to engage and get corporate gigs and all of that. I will be right back, because I always say I'll be right back. I'll be right back.